Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajadhanarandana Yashodanandana Brajadhanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Vishupad Paramahamsa Pri Vrajgacha Stotra Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Shiraboy Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Skandiviti, founder Sharia's Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki, Namasarya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Samavata Bhakti Vrinda ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Dainitai Gaura Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksuran Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Padam Vandeham Sri Sridhita Parakamalam Pam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Bhajivam Sadvaitam Sabhadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Kripa Sindhu Dyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayana Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Narachaiva Narottamam
Devim Sarasatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jaya Mudiraye.
Tato Jaya Mudiraye.
Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Praya Sabad, and by rendering service unto the pure devotee. All that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Idam Bhagavata Nama
Puranam Brahmasamhitam
Puranam Brahmasamitam
Uttama Charitam
Uttama Shloke Charitam
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Nistreya Sayalokasya
Nisheshaya Lokesha
Dhanyam Swastyayanam Mahat.
Dharnam Shachayana Maha.
This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda Brinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Devaya
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Sarabhyai Namaha
Om Shurabhyaya Namaha
Om Sarabhyai Namaha
Om Shurabhyaya Namaha
Om Sarabhyai Namaha
Om Shurabhyaya Namaha
Mukam Karoti Vatalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripat Mahabande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Yat Kripat Mahabande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Canto number 1, chapter 9, a chapter entitled The Passing Away of Bhishmadeva. And we are reading text 21, I believe. Sarvatmanaha Sama Drisho Hi Advayasya Nahankritehe Tat Kritam Mati Vaishamyam Niravadyasya Na Kvachit Sarvatmana Samadrisho Yadvayasya Nahankritehe Tat Kritam mati vaishamyam
Tatkritam mati vaishamyam
niravadyasya na kvachit
niravadyasya na kvachit
sarvatmana samadrisho
sarvatmana samadrisho
yadvasya nahang yadvayasya nahang kritehe
yadvayasya nahante
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
niravadyasya na kvachit
niravadyasya na kvachit
sarvatmana samadrisho
sarvatmana samadrisho
yadvasya nahang kritehe
yadvayasya nahante
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
niravadyasya na kvachit
niravadyasya na kvachit svaravadmana samadrisha
sarvatmana samadrisho
yadvayasya naham kritehe
yadvyasyan
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
niravadyasya na kvachit
niravadyasya na kvachit
sarvatmana samadrisho
sarvatmana samadrisho
yadvasya naham krite
yadvadyasyan kritehe
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
niravadyasya na kvachit
niravadyasya na kvachit
sarvatman samadrisho
sarvatmana samadrisho
yadasyanaham krite
yadvyasyan kritehe
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
tatkritam mati vaishamyam
nirvadyasya na kvachitah
niravadyasya na kvachit sarva atmanaha
sarvatmanaha
of one who is present of one who is present
one who is present
in everyone's heart
in everyone's heart
samadrishaha
samadrishaha
of one who is equally kind
of one who is equally kind
to one and all.
to one and all.
He
He
certainly
certainly
advayasya
advayasya
of the Absolute,
of the Absolute,
anahankritehe,
anahankritehe,
free from all material identity
free from all material identity
of false ego.
of false ego.
Tatkritam,
Tatkritam,
everything done by him.
everything done by him.
Mati,
Mati,
consciousness.
consciousness.
Vaishamyam,
Vaishamyam,
differentiation.
differentiation.
Niravadyasya,
Niravadyasya,
freed from all attachment.
free from all attachment.
Na,
Na,
never.
never.
Kvachit,
Kvachit,
at any stage.
at any stage.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Being the absolute personality of Godhead, He is present in everyone's heart. He is equally kind to everyone, and He is free from the false ego of differentiation. Therefore, whatever He does is free from material inebriety. He is equibalanced. Personality of Godhead,
Being the absolute,
He is present in everyone's heart.
he is present in everyone.
He is equally kind to everyone,
He is equally kind to everyone,
and He is free from the false ego
and he is free from the false ego
of differentiation.
of differentiation.
Therefore, whatever He does
Therefore, whatever he does
is free from material inebriety.
is free from material inebriety.
He is equibalanced.
He is equibalanced.
Purport. Because he is absolute,
because
there is nothing different from him. He is Kaivalya. There is nothing except himself. Everything and everyone is the manifestation of his energy, and thus he is present everywhere by his energy, being non-different from it. The sun is identified with every inch of the sun rays and every molecular particle of the rays. Similarly, the Lord is distributed by his different energies. He is Paramatma, or the Supersoul, present in everyone as the supreme guidance, and therefore he is already the chariot driver and counsel of all living beings. When he therefore exhibits himself as chariot driver of Arjuna, there is no chance, there's no change, there's no change in his exalted position. It is the power of devotional service only that demonstrates him, since conception of life, because he is absolute spiritual identity, there is for him no superior or inferior action. Being the absolute personality of Godhead, he has no false ego, and so he does not identify himself with anything different from him. The material conception of ego is equibalanced in him. He does not feel, therefore, inferior by becoming the chariot driver of his pure devotee. It is the glory of the pure devotee that only he can bring about service from the affectionate Lord. It is the glory of the pure devotee that only he can bring about service from the affectionate Lord. Translation again, being the absolute personality of Godhead, he is present in everyone's heart. He is equally kind to everyone, and he is free from the false ego of differentiation. Therefore, whatever he does is free from material inebriety. He is equibalanced. So this is the continuation of Grandfather Bhishma Dev's description and glorification and explanation of the unique position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He has, since the last few verses, begun to glorify the Lord. And here he is pointing out how, because the Lord is fully, completely, and always fully and completely transcendental or spiritual, even when he comes in the material world, he remains in his means he knows everything. He knows everyone. Why? Because he is omnipresent. Just like the jiva is present in this body, Krishna's nature is such that he's present everywhere. He's present in the heart of all living entities. He's present in each and every atom. Therefore, if at least, we cannot conceive this, but at least theoretically, if we understand, then it means that Krishna, he is conscious, he is aware, he knows everything that is going on everywhere. And he remains always transcendental. Nice point that Prabhupada is making also is that whether he performs this activity or that activity, he remains the same transcendental personality. And all of his activities are equally important. That's why Srila Prabhupada, he would sometimes criticize and chastise those who are minimizing Krishna's activities, for example, on the battle of Kurukshetra, or minimizing the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. And as some people do, actually, unfortunately, they just focus and concentrate on Krishna Lila, Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. But explains how Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan and Krishna's pastimes, chariot driver of Arjuna in Kurukshetra, is the same, of same importance. Different expressions. Prabhupada makes a nice point here also, that only those who are the pure devotees of the Lord can extract. Can extract means they can make the Lord perform different activities, which we know, of course, as Krishna's Leela, or Krishna's pastimes. So for Krishna, all of these different activities that he performs in the material world, as Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, Janma Karma Samit Divyam. My janma, my appearance and my activities, they're all divyam, transcendental. And one who actually knows and understands how Krishna is always remaining in that transcendental position, and reciprocates with his devotees according to their devotion. Krishna acts on the principle of devotion. The pastimes, various, including the topmost attractive pastime, which is Rasa Lila, which is manifest during the month of Kartik. Month of Kartik is coming up already next month, October, month of October. Then he performs his pastime at Kurukshetra, which we commemorate in the month of December. Gita Jayanti, isn't it? Gita Jayanti is there. But all of these pastimes are in relation to how the Lord chooses to giving some understanding here, how the Lord is completely different from us. He's never in any way affected by false ego, which is our main difficulty, our main challenge, our main problem in the material world. Why the false ego is there? And how to get rid of that false ego, which is actually preventing us from
Should not use.
Should not
Use.
use. Should not use a false ego. Neglect. Should neglect. False ego is there because, number one, of our forgetfulness of Krishna, and also because of our connection with the gunas, the modes of material nature, isn't it? When we are no longer, when we learn this whole process, isn't it? When we learn to rise above the modes of material nature, which is a very methodical and systematic way that Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita especially, and also Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a gradual process by which we go from the lower modes of nature, from tamagun, then gradually rise to rajagun, and then to the mode of goodness, saptagun. And as one rises from the lower modes of nature to the higher modes of nature, then one's consciousness becomes more purified. One's consciousness becomes more clear. One's consciousness, one's mind becomes more peaceful. And therefore, in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, we have this nice verse that is describing the position of someone who is situated in the mode of goodness. What is that verse? Evam prasanna manaso. Prasanna. That is also referred in the Bhagavad Gita, one who has attained the level of prasanatma, nasochati nakanchati. He has no material hankering or no material lamentation. He is fixed in consciousness. So evam prasanna manaso, very important level. Actually, it's an essential level for the living entity to come to, so that one can begin nicely to practice bhakti. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavat bhakti yogataha. Bhagavat bhakti. Bhakti means to Bhagavan. Love or devotion, devotional service is meant for Bhagavan. Bhagavan means Krishna. Then by this engagement in bhakti, in devotional service to Krishna, for pleasing, for satisfying the Lord, then the Lord